Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Research, Chapter 16. In Chapter 16, let's talk about how you would communicate your research results. Okay? Communicating research results. Okay? After this chapter, you should be able to create an outline for a research project using the basic parts of a final report. You should use this as a guideline for writing your group project, which is a research report. Okay. You should be able to also explain how to use tables to presenting numerical information, summarize how to select and use the types of research charts, know how to give an effective oral presentation. Okay. I need you to give an oral presentation. As to your oral presentation, you can do it like what I'm doing right now. Okay, you create your PowerPoint, and then you use the record function of your PowerPoint to record your file as this. So it has this PowerPoint, and also has this your illustration and your presentation in there. You have your video and audio. Okay. After you record it, you can just send me this PowerPoint file with audio video inside embedded in there, or you can export this like I did. You export this to an MP4 file. The MP4 file is like just video file. You can put on YouTube, or you can put it on Blackboard, or you can just send me put it somewhere. You send me a link. Okay, that's how I want you guys to do this group presentation. In that case, since this is online class, you guys are not together, so it's not practical to expect everyone to be in one place to give a presentation. You can choose one of you to do the presentation, and then make sure you have your names of your group members, all your names on the front page. Okay, you want to give everyone credit. Okay, so that's how give an effective oral presentation, and also discuss the importance of internet reporting and research follow-up. Okay, what is a research report? Research report is a crucial means for communicating the whole project's benefits. Okay? When people who need to use research results have to wade through the disorganized presentation, find themselves confused by the technical jargon, or find the sloppiness of language or the thought, they will probably discount the report and make a decision as if the project never started. Now you don't want that to happen. Yeah. Project and report. Okay. What is a report? A research report is a formal presentation and or a written statement that communicates research results and draws appropriate conclusions following from a research project. Okay. You can read your research report, your paper, group paper. Okay. The report provides the answers and documents the procedures to the interested audience. Okay. For an applied marketing research project, a report represents the results accomplishing the proposal's deliverables, including specific managerial recommendations. In consulting terms, consulting companies often use term deliverables. That's what the final project paper report they gave to the clients after completing the project. Okay? Deliverables should be a logical conclusion of the report contents, and based on the contents of the report. So research report, a basic marketing researcher writes a similar report that often takes the form of a white paper or scholarly research paper, targeted for publication in a research journal. That's what your people you like. That's your professors, marketing professors, like me, what we're doing. We conduct basic marketing research. Our marketing research paper or articles in a journal and normally does not address any specific issue for a company, as this is a basic research, it's not applied research, and it's mostly for increasing the knowledge of human being about the subject of marketing. Okay, and that's a basic marketing report. Examples with journal marketing, journal academy of marketing science, or journal business research. I actually have an article in the journal of business research, among other journals. Okay? A written research report often coincides with the formal presentation delivered in person or via the internet. Okay? Of course, for your class project, this is online class, you need to do that via the internet, okay, or on Blackboard. The format of research report. There are some major elements you have to have. Title page, you have title page, letter of transmittal, letter of authorization, table of contents, and list of figures tables, executive summaries. I need you to have one-page executive summary that you should write last, not first. Write a full paper, then write one-page executive summary, the highly summarizing everything. Okay, and then in the executive summary, you need to have objectives, results, and conclusions and recommendations. Okay. In research report, the body and objectives. In the body, you should have an introduction. Okay, introduction, and then you have to talk about the objectives. Okay? Your methodology used, in your case, is surveys, and your survey results and analysis results. You also need to tell about your limitations. Okay, what's your limitations? Right? And your conclusions and recommendations. Okay? In the appendix, you can have data collection forms, your questionnaires, your detailed calculations, general tables, bibliography, references, other support materials. You can have that. The picture showing the report format, the report parts. You have what we call the prefatory parts. Prefatory part. That's title page, that's transmittal, that's authorization, and contents, table contents. Then the summary, you have objective, result, conclusion, recommendation, right? In the main body, you have intro, introduction about this whole thing, the methodology used, results, area 1, 2, 3, and the final area, the limitations, conclusion, and recommendations. This is appended parts, appendix, collection form, detailed calculations, general tables, and references. Okay, that's format you should follow. You should use this as a guideline to write your paper. Okay? Tailoring the format to the project. The format may need to be adjusted and may need adjustment to obtain the proper level of formality and to decrease the complexity of the report. A formal type report is usually bound in a permanent cover and may be hundreds of pages. Okay? For your project, of course, I don't need that many. I would say anywhere between 15, 25 pages is good. Okay? And in that, you need to address how does the researcher decide on the appropriate level of formality. The general rule is that to include all the parts needed for effective communication in the particular circumstance. Okay? This depends on how far up in management the report expected to go and how routine the matter is. Okay? The parts of the report, the title. Title page should state the title of the report, to whom the report was prepared, for your group project, for the report for me, for the class, and by whom it was prepared, who did it, all your group members, and the data, and the release or presentation. The title should give a brief but complete indication of the purpose of the research project. Okay? No more than 12 words. The title includes the address, titles, and the preparer and the recipient. On confidential reports, list the people to whom the report should be circulated. Okay? For the most formal reports, the title page has the fly page, which contains only the report's titles. Okay? Letter transmittal, you don't need that here for your project, but usually it's included in relatively formal and very formal reports. The transmittal letter's opening paragraph releases the report and briefly identifies the factors of authorization. Who will authorize that? Okay. The comments generally on findings and matters of interest regarding the research. The closing section expresses writer's personal interest in the project that's completed and doing additional related work. Okay. Overall, the letter explains how the report represents the key deliverable invites further discussions on the matter. Okay. Letter of authorization. A letter to the researcher that approves the project, details who has responsibility for it, and describes the resources available to support it. Okay? It's now written by the researcher. Okay? In many situations, simply referring to the authorization in the letter of transmittal is sufficient and need not be included in the paper report. For your class, for your class project, you don't need that. Okay? Table of contents is essential to any report more than a few pages long. You should list the divisions and subdivisions, only the first level subdivision of the report with the page references. And if the report includes many figures and tables, a list of these should immediately follow the table of contents. A list of figures. Executive summary. Briefly explain why the research project was conducted, what aspects of the problem were considered, and what the outcome was, and what should be done. Is a vital part of the report. Okay? Students should have indicated that nearly all managers and a reporter's summary, only a minority read the rest of the report. Okay? And you should executive summary should be written only after the rest of the report has been completed. As I said, should be 1 page long, or at most 2 pages. 1 page is good. Should be written to be self-sufficient. Is often detached from the report and circulated by itself. Right? The summary contains 4 elements: the objective of the report, including the most important background information and the specific purpose of the project, the methodology, and the major results. Okay, the conclusions and recommendations or suggestions. Okay. The body begins with the introduction section explaining why the project was done and what is aimed to discover. Okay. Include the basic authorization submittal data and includes enough background to explain why the project was worth doing. Okay. The last part explains exactly what the project tries to discover, discussing the statement of the problem and the research questions as they were stated in the research proposal. Okay. The research methodology section, research design. Was the study exploratory, descriptive, or causal? Did the data come from primary or secondary sources? Was the result collected by a survey, observation, or experiment? For you guys, it's both exploratory and descriptive, and maybe somewhat causal if you do a regression. Right? The data from primary, you collect the data, okay? And the data collected by, the results collected by survey in your case. Okay? Sample design. What was the target population? What the sampling frame? What sample units selected? How were they selected? How large was the sample? Yeah. What was the response rate? Okay? I expect you to have at least 100. Yeah. 200 is better. Okay? And you can try to calculate the response rate. The methodology section of the body, data collections and field work, how many and what types of field workers were used. You are your own field workers, of course, all your group members. What training and supervision did they receive? Your training, is your class, your lecture, my lectures. Was the work verified? You need to verify yourself. Analysis. That should outline the general statistical methods used in the study, but information presented here should not overlap with what is presented in the results section. Okay? The results section of it, that should make up the bulk of the report and present those findings on the project that bear in on the objectives. Okay? Designed to be convincing but not to oversell the project. Use summary tables and charts, but save comprehensive or detailed ones for the appendix. Okay. The conclusion recommendation section, the last part of the body. Conclusions are opinions based on the results. Recommendations are suggestions for actions. Okay. Appendix present the two materials. Okay. And include any material that's too technical or too detailed to go in the body. You put them in the appendix. Okay. Example: data collection forms, detailed calculations, discussion of highly technical questions, detailed or comprehensive tables of results, and bibliography. Okay. It's appropriate. And much appendix material is posted on the internet web pages. Okay. For basic marketing research report, the outline above applies, especially to applied marketing research projects. Basic report that's published in academic business journal have a slightly different outline, since some components become irrelevant. Okay, we normally have an abstract. Okay, it's not exact summary; it's an abstract. Then you have introduction, you need a background, you need to do a literature review. We have proposed hypothesis. We need to talk about the research methods, results, appendixes, and like that. Okay? We have discussions, implications, limitations, and future research. Okay, and conclusions, references. Okay? You need to use tables effectively in your paper, in your project paper. Okay, use properly the graphic aids can clarify complex points or emphasize a message. Used improperly or sloppily, they can be distracting or misleading. Work best when they are an integral part of the text, and they should always be interpreted in the text. Okay. Several types of graphic aids may be useful in research reports. You can use tables, charts, maps, and diagrams. Creating tables. Most useful for presenting numerical information, especially when several pieces of information have been gathered about each item discussed. Okay, it includes the following for each table. You have table number, title, and subheads and banner heads. You have notes. You need the source notes. This is a good example of table. Okay, you can see the number of graphics here. Right, this is the title. This is the column headings here. There's the row headings here. I just want to show you the bottled water sales volume between 2001 and 2011 in millions of US dollars. There's a worldwide US, Germany, China, Italy, France, Japan, and Brazil, different countries from 2001 to 2011. Very rich, complex table. Okay, this has the numbers in millions of dollars in sales. You can see worldwide is increasing rapidly. United States increasing very fast. Okay, Germany, yeah, it's increasing. China increasing. Everywhere, everywhere is increasing. Right? And then you have notes, including sources information. Where do you get the information? Okay, that's a good basic table illustration here. Okay, and then you can use charts effectively. Each chart should include figure number, title, explanatory legends, and source and footnotes, and charts are subject to distortion, whether unintentional or deliberate. Okay, do not be caught in deliberately, distort their chart. A particular severe kind of distortion comes from treating unequal intervals as if they were equal. Okay, that's not good. Like this one here. Two different depictions of the same data. data the same. Okay, you can see if this is the growth here is shown in blue and decline in red. Okay, you see the blues growth, and then below that you can see the declines in red. And if you use this chart, you can see growth is shown in blue and decline in red, and you don't see in the red. Okay, depending on the how you present that. Okay, the same day, even though it's from the same data. Okay, and the one reason for that is you can see the x-axis. Okay, how they combine some numbers. This one shows axis value can influence interpretation. So the effects of add 1 and add 2. Okay, if you scale like this, it seems to show there's a big difference between add 1 and add 2. First add, a second add. But if you scale from like that, then it doesn't seem to be that much difference between the two adds. Okay, the effectiveness of two adds. A small scale range for the y-axis can mislead the user. Okay, if you enlarge this, it may show there's a significant interaction here, and if you use this scale, it doesn't seem to show that very much. Okay? And pie charts. Okay, you can use pie charts. One of the most useful type of charts. It shows the composition of some total quantity at a particular time. Each angle or each slice, like a pizza pie, right? Each slice is proportional to its percentage of the whole and should be labeled and with its description and percentage. The writer should not try to include too many slices pizza. Yeah, normally, how many slices of pizza do we have? Right? Normally, I would say 6, 8, maybe. Right? About 6 slices is typical maximum for charts, like this one here, showing favorite communication tools or social media tools. Okay, 41% Snapchat, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, and others. It shows them among looks like among 10th graders. Okay, adults may be different. Right? For myself, I use Facebook, I use Twitter a lot, Instagram a little bit. I don't use Snapchat. Line graphs is useful to show relationship of one variable to another, and a dependent variable is generally shown on the vertical axis and the independent on the horizontal axis. The most common independent variable for such chart is time, but it's not the only one. You can use anything, right? This one shows the portion of internet users and language percentage of internet users from 1995 to 2015. Yeah, see, almost nothing from 1995 up to now over 40%. Now it's probably even higher today. Okay. That clearly shows the trend of internet use. Bar charts, it shows changes in value of dependent variable at discrete intervals of the independent variable. And you can have multiple bar charts showing multiple variables related to the primary variables. Each bar or segment of the bar needs to be clearly identified with different color or pattern. Okay. The writer should not use too many divisions or independent variables. Okay? Too much detail obscures the essential advantage of chart, which is to make the relationship easy to grasp. Bar chart. This one shows what is moving U.S. auto sales. Okay, kicking the tires. Sales and cars with light truck in U.S. retail market in millions of units as seasonally adjusted annual rate. Okay, the blue are cars. The what called this color, beige or room or whatever. Right? That's the light trucks. Okay, this one's at pump upgrade up unleaded gasoline average weekly retail price per gallon. Okay, around $3 and $4. Okay, this one shows the number of sales. Okay, that's 8 million units. So we're seeing about 8 million, over 8 million cars and over 8 million light trucks are being sold. There's about 60 million total in this country every year. Okay. Oral presentation. The purpose of an oral presentation is to highlight the most important findings of a research project and provide clients or line managers with the opportunity to ask questions. Okay? One simple rule: be as straightforward as possible. Straightforward as possible. Okay? And prepare, the key to effective presentation. Okay? Begin at end, meaning what the researcher wants the client to know when it has been completed. Begin at end. And select the 3 or 4 most important findings for emphasis and rely on the written report for full summary. Okay. Also, for our presentation, organize around the standard format. Yeah. Tell them what you are going to tell them. Tell them, and then tell them what you just told them. Okay, just told them. Make sure you do that. Tips: introduce yourself while displaying the title of the presentation. Open your arms to embrace your audience. Okay. And drop your arms to your sides when not using them. Okay. Drop them. Okay. And avoid quick and jerky gestures which make you appear nervous. Don't be nervous. Okay. And one easy way to share data is to have executive summaries and reports on the company intranet. Okay, company can use information technology on the internet to design questionnaire, administer surveys, analyze data, share the results in the presentation-ready format, etc. Okay. Real-time data capture allows for beginning to end reporting. You can do that. A number of companies offer fully web-based research management systems. Okay. Self-contained presentations. Make sure the title page includes those indicate who did the research and for whom it was done. Okay. For your group project, you keep list your name and saying that it is for me and for this class, marketing research 457. Okay. Keep in mind that the viewers may use all sorts of media devices to view the presentation. Okay. Limit the number of words on the slide. Okay, you don't use too many. Okay. Annotate any potentially complex materials. Okay. Use self-advancing slides, but always include an easy way for the user to move forward, stop, or repeat the presentation. Okay. Include links to any technical appendices that support the work. On the last slide, provide a clear and unambiguous contact information for easy follow-up. Okay. And follow-up reports. Okay. The research follow-up is recontacting of the decision makers and or clients after they had the chance to read over the report. Okay. And the purpose is to determine whether the researchers need to provide additional information or clarify issues of concern to the management. Okay. It can help making researchers ensure the satisfaction of their customers, making managers, marketing managers.